Most of us are told that strong bones and a healthy heart after 60 require a cabinet full of expensive supplements. We see ads for calcium pills, vitamin D drops, and pricey fish oil capsules. But the real story, the one supported by decades of research, is that one of the most powerful tools for your health might already be in your pantry, costing just a couple of dollars. I'm talking about the humble can of sardines. This isn't just about adding a new food to your diet. This is about protecting your independence. It's about feeling steady and confident when you walk down a flight of stairs. It's about having the circulatory health to enjoy a long walk without feeling winded, and the mental clarity to stay engaged and sharp. It's about taking a simple, proactive step that gives you more control over your health as you age. In this video, we are going to walk through exactly why this tiny fish delivers such big benefits. You'll understand the science of how it strengthens your bones, protects your arteries, and even helps clear brain fog, all explained in simple, everyday language. I'll give you a clear target for how many to eat per week, and we'll bust the common myth about mercury in fish once and for all. And please, stay with me until the end, because I'll share 3 incredibly simple, non-fishy ways to prepare them that might just make you a convert, even if you've never liked them before. There will be no scare tactics here, just a clear, practical look at what the science suggests and a calm guide to making it work for you. If you're looking for a community that focuses on straightforward, science-backed health advice for this chapter of life, take a moment to subscribe. Let us know in the comments one small health goal you're working on right now. It helps us all feel a little less alone in the journey. Let's start with what is arguably the biggest concern for many of us after 60, our bones. We hear the term bone density all the time, but what does it really mean? Imagine your bones are like a honeycomb structure. Throughout your life, 2 types of special cells are at work. You have builder cells, called osteoblasts, that constantly add new, strong material to the honeycomb. And you have demolition cells, called osteoclasts, that clear away old, tired bone material. In our younger years, the builders work faster than the demolition crew, so our bone structure gets denser and stronger. But as we get older, particularly after menopause for women, the demolition crew starts to outpace the builders. This leaves the honeycomb structure more porous and fragile. A simple trip or a fall that we would have bounced back from at 30 can suddenly become a serious fracture. This is the reality of osteoporosis. So, how do we support our builder cells? They need 2 critical things: the right materials and the right instructions. Calcium is the primary material. It's the brick and mortar for your bone honeycomb. Vitamin D is the foreman on the job site. It's the signal that tells your intestines to absorb the calcium from your food and then tells the builder cells to get to work and lay it down in the bones. You can take all the calcium in the world, but without enough vitamin D, it's like having a pile of bricks with no one to build the wall. This is where the sardine becomes a true superstar. A single can of sardines with the bones provides a remarkable amount of both. Unlike a glass of milk or a piece of cheese, sardines offer a 1-2 punch. You get a huge dose of highly absorbable calcium directly from their tiny, edible bones. They are so soft you won't even notice them. At the same time, you get a significant amount of vitamin D, which is a fat-soluble vitamin naturally present in fatty fish. They deliver the building blocks and the instructions in the very same package. Think about a moment when you've hesitated before stepping off a high curb, or felt a little unsteady on an uneven patch of sidewalk. That brief moment of uncertainty is your body reminding you how important balance and stability are. Strengthening the underlying structure of your bones is one of the most powerful things you can do to regain and maintain that confidence. Starting is as simple as aiming for 1 can of sardines 3 times a week. When you're at the store, Look for sardines packed in olive oil, as this helps you better absorb that crucial vitamin D. Mash them with a fork, and they become a simple, creamy base for a spread, which we'll talk more about in a bit. Now, let's move from the body's scaffolding to its delivery system, your heart and arteries. As we age, one of the quiet changes happening inside our bodies is a gradual increase in low-grade, chronic inflammation. Think of this inflammation as a kind of slow, internal rusting process. Inside your thousands of miles of blood vessels, this rust can make the smooth linings of your arteries a little rougher and stickier. This stickiness creates problems. It gives cholesterol, specifically the small, dense LDL particles, a place to latch on and start forming plaque. Over time, these plaques can grow, narrowing the arteries and making them stiff instead of flexible. This forces your heart to work much harder to pump blood through these narrowed pipes, which is what causes blood pressure to rise. It also increases the risk of a piece of that plaque breaking off and causing a blockage, which is the mechanism behind most heart attacks and strokes. Here is where the second great power of sardines comes into play: their rich content of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically two types called EPA and DHA. These omega-3s are powerful, natural anti-inflammatories. They act like a biological rust-proofer, helping to calm that inflammatory process throughout your circulatory system. They make the artery linings smoother and less sticky, giving plaque less of a chance to form. But they do something else just as important. Omega-3s help to make your blood platelets, the tiny cells responsible for clotting, less spiky and prone to clumping together. This is a good thing for blood flow. It's like turning a thick, sludgy sauce into a smoothly flowing one. This improved circulation means more oxygen and nutrients can get to every part of your body, from your brain to your toes. Many large-scale studies have shown that regular consumption of fatty fish is linked to lower levels of triglycerides, a type of fat in your blood that, when high, is a major risk factor for heart disease. This brings us to a very common and understandable concern: mercury. We've all heard warnings about mercury in fish, and it's right to be cautious. But it's crucial to understand that not all fish are created equal. Mercury accumulates up the food chain. A very large, long-living fish like a swordfish or a big-eye tuna spends years eating smaller fish, accumulating all the mercury they ever consumed. Sardines, however, are at the very bottom of the aquatic food chain. They are small, they eat tiny plankton, and they have very short lifespans. This means they simply do not have the time or the diet to accumulate any significant level of mercury. For this reason, regulatory bodies like the FDA consistently list sardines as one of the safest and best fish choices, especially for regular consumption. So please, let's put the mercury myth to rest when it comes to these small fish. They are one of the cleanest, safest sources of seafood you can find. If you've ever felt your heart pounding after climbing a set of stairs that used to be easy, or if your doctor has mentioned your blood pressure is creeping up, that's your circulatory system sending you a message. Adding sardines to your week is a direct, evidence-based response. A quick safety note: if you are on a blood thinner medication like warfarin, Coumadin, it's always a good idea to speak with your doctor before making a major increase in your omega-3 intake, as it can enhance the blood thinning effect. For most people, however, incorporating fish a few times a week is a safe and highly recommended practice. From our bones and heart, let's turn our attention to the command center, our brain. That frustrating feeling of walking into a room and completely forgetting why you're there, or having a word on the very tip of your tongue that just won't come out. These moments of brain fog can be unsettling. While some cognitive changes are a normal part of aging, our diet plays a massive role in keeping our minds as sharp and clear as possible. Your brain is incredibly fatty. In fact, it's about 60% fat. But it's very particular about the kind of fat it uses for its structure and function. The superstar fat for the brain is DHA, the same omega-3 fatty acid we find in sardines. Think of DHA as the highest quality building material for your brain cells or neurons. It helps keep the cell membranes flexible and fluid, which is absolutely essential for them to communicate with each other effectively. When brain cells can send and receive signals quickly and clearly, your memory works better, your focus is sharper, and your thinking feels more fluid. When you don't have enough of this crucial fat, it's like trying to repair a complex machine with cheap, ill-fitting parts. The whole system becomes sluggish. But there's another nutrient in sardines that's vital for brain health: vitamin B12. This vitamin is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath, which is a protective, insulating layer that covers your nerve fibers. You can think of it like the plastic coating on an electrical wire. A healthy myelin sheath allows nerve impulses, the messages in your brain, to travel at lightning speed. When B12 is low, that insulation can start to wear thin. Messages slow down, or they can even get short-circuited. This can manifest as brain fog, memory issues, and even balance problems over time. Because vitamin B12 is found almost exclusively in animal products, getting enough can sometimes be a challenge. Sardines are an exceptionally rich source. Pairing the brain-building fat of DHA with the nerve-protecting power of vitamin B12 is another example of the incredible nutritional synergy packed into one small can. If this is making sense and you're finding it helpful, a quick tap on the subscribe button ensures you won't miss our next video on protecting your eyesight. A simple scenario many of us recognize is misplacing our keys or glasses more often. It's a small annoyance, but it can chip away at your confidence. Boosting your intake of DHA and B12 is a tangible step towards supporting the very hardware of your brain. A wonderful way to do this is to flake a can of sardines over a large salad of dark leafy greens like spinach. The greens provide folate, another B vitamin that works hand in hand with B12 for optimal brain function, creating a truly brain-boosting meal. Finally, let's talk about something that underpins our ability to do everything else: our muscle strength and energy levels. One of the less discussed challenges of aging is a condition called sarcopenia, which is the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function. It's the reason why opening a tight jar becomes a struggle, or why getting up from a low, comfortable armchair requires a bit of a push. It's a natural process, but it is not inevitable, and we can fight back significantly with nutrition. The single most important nutrient for fighting sarcopenia is protein. Your muscles are made of protein, and they are in a constant state of being broken down and rebuilt. To rebuild them effectively, your body needs a steady supply of amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. If your diet doesn't provide enough of these building blocks, your body can't keep up with repairs, and you slowly lose muscle mass over time. Sardines are an absolute powerhouse of high-quality, easily digestible protein. A single can provide a substantial portion of the daily protein needed to signal your body to preserve and even build lean muscle, especially when combined with some form of gentle, regular movement or resistance exercise. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about maintaining the functional strength you need to carry groceries, play with your grandkids, and live independently and safely in your own home. Connected to this is our day-to-day energy. That feeling of hitting a wall at 3 p.m., where you just feel drained and out of steam, can often be tied to another key nutrient: iron. Iron is a critical component of hemoglobin, the protein in your red blood cells that is responsible for grabbing oxygen from your lungs and carrying it to every single cell in your body. including your muscles and brain. Think of oxygen as your body's energy currency. If you don't have enough iron, you can't make enough healthy red blood cells, and your body's ability to transport oxygen plummets. This condition, known as iron deficiency anemia, leaves you feeling perpetually tired, weak, and short of breath. Sardines are a good source of heme iron, a form that is particularly well absorbed by the body compared to the iron found in plants. So, when you feel that afternoon fatigue or notice that lifting everyday objects feels a bit harder, your body might be asking for more protein and iron. A fantastic, simple lunch is a sardine melt. Mash a can of sardines with a little mustard or mayonnaise. Spread it on a slice of whole grain bread, top with a slice of cheese, and toast it until warm and bubbly. It's a delicious, comforting meal that delivers exactly what your muscles and energy systems are crying out for. So, let's bring all this incredible science into a simple, practical plan you can start this week. It's a 3-step action plan to make sardines a regular, easy, and even enjoyable part of your routine. Step 1. The goal. The target supported by most health organizations for reaping the bone, heart, and brain benefits is to consume fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week. For sardines, this translates to a simple goal. Aim for 3 cans of sardines spread throughout your week. That's it. It's a small, achievable target. Step 2. The shopping. When you're in the canned fish aisle, it can be a bit overwhelming. Keep it simple. Look for sardines packed in extra virgin olive oil. This not only adds to the omega-3 content, but also helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamin D. If you're watching your sodium, look for no salt added versions. And don't feel you need to buy the expensive, fancy brands. Store brands are often just as nutritious and much more budget-friendly. Step 3. The preparation. This is the most important part, because if you don't enjoy it, you won't stick with it. Here are 3 very simple, no fishy taste, ways to start. First, the sardine mash. Drain a can of sardines and mash them in a bowl with a fork until they form a paste. Mix in a spoonful of mayonnaise or plain Greek yogurt, a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, and some finely chopped celery or onion. It has the texture of tuna or egg salad and is delicious on crackers or in a sandwich. The lemon juice is key. It brightens the flavor and cuts any strong fishiness. Second, the sardine cake. This is my favorite. Mash the sardines and mix them with 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, and some herbs like parsley or dill. Form them into small patties, like mini crab cakes, and pan-fry them in a little olive oil for a few minutes on each side until golden brown. They are savory, crispy, and fantastic. Third, the pasta topper. Simply flake a can of sardines into your favorite warm pasta sauce. As you stir the sauce, the sardines will break down and melt right into it, adding a deep, savory, umami flavor without tasting overtly fishy. It enriches the sauce and boosts its nutritional value immensely. What we've discussed today goes far beyond just one type of food. It's about a mindset of empowerment. It's about knowing that you can make small, simple, and affordable choices each week that have a profound and positive impact on your long-term health and independence. Consistently strengthening your bones, protecting your heart, and nourishing your brain with these key nutrients helps ensure you have the physical resilience and mental clarity to live a vibrant, active life for years to come. I'll link some plain language sources in the description below if you'd like to read more on the research. Your health journey is your own, but you don't have to walk it alone. In the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. Which of those 3 preparation ideas will you try first? The mash, the cakes, or the pasta topper? And if this was helpful, please consider liking this video and sharing it with a friend. It truly helps us reach and support more people just like you. I'll see you in the next video.